everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Zaneta Wilson and I'm a student studying here in Iceland, and I see that you've clicked on this video. So if you like the video that you're currently watching right now and you want to join the fam, please don't forget to like and subscribe. As you can see from the title of this video, I'm gonna feel so irresponsible, but as you can see from the title of this video, Zaneta gets basically, I don't know, she puts herself in a very crazy situation. So let's talk about that small period in my life. It was insane, actually. It was absolutely insane. But anyway, I had recently quit a job in mainland China, and I was in the process of just traveling a bit while I was looking for other jobs, trying to secure a new job and work on the visa process for that particular job in mainland China again, because I wanted to go back to China. But I found myself in Thailand and it was great. I mean, well, I hated the climate, the weather, everything in general like that. But the food, the people, the overall mood, atmosphere, whatever you want to call it, was amazing. Just not the weather. So yeah, I was there and I was staying in quite a few hostels. I was kind of like what I like to call island hopping around to different hostels. And I found myself at one hostel and I needed to leave to do my visa run. And yeah, that's when things started to go south. Everything was smooth sailing until I decided, okay, I really have to do this visa run or else I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble if I don't leave the country at a certain period of time. My hair looks a mess, by the way. I had made this video earlier and then I hated it. I just hated it. And then I decided to go to the store. Weather was crazy and acting just insane today, and so now my hair just looks it looks really bad. But anyway, let's get back to the story. So I'm getting choked. So I needed to do my visa run and I decided to book a trip through a particular company. I'm not going to call out the company's name because they had nothing to do with my situation. Like, it wasn't their fault per se. So yes, I booked through this particular company and they added me to the WhatsApp group where all the nationalities, like all the people who were representing different nationalities, were also doing their visa runs, and they were asking questions. I didn't ask any questions. I was just there like I do in every WhatsApp group. And the guy was giving us information, where to meet him, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. So he told us that we would be meeting at the McDonald's, like a specific McDonald's in downtown Bangkok. And he also told us that with our fee, food would be included and also the cost of the visa itself. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, because I mean, I'm technically broke anyway. So this visa run is going to be very inexpensive. I'm super excited. Can't wait. Don't judge me, but I did decide to leave some of my money in a safe back at the hostel that I was staying in. I just had a lot of trust in people in general. By the way, my money was safe, so let's just go ahead and get that out the way. No one stole my money, but I know a lot of people will think I'm a complete idiot because I left it in the safe at the hostel in the first place. But my money was okay. Zaneta, though, on her visa run was not okay. So he tells us where to meet him and says, like, we're gonna do this, make this trip starting at 4 o'clock in the morning, be here, be there, be square, whatever. And he tells us what the van looks like and who to look for, blah, blah, blah. But when Zaneta gets there at 4 o'clock in the morning, well, actually I got there before 4 o'clock, so I was there really, really early. But when I got there, I saw so many vans that looked like the one that he showed us. He didn't show us the license plate number because he just showed us the side of the van, and there was like a row of vans that looked basically identical to this one. And the men who were standing outside of the vans waiting to load people, they had on like similar outfits. So I was just kind of like, okay, is this one company and they're all taking us on the same visa run? And then I was like, okay, let me message this guy on WhatsApp because I don't know where he is. I don't know which van belongs to him. But he never responded. And then there was another guy who was standing on the outside of his van, and he saw me and he started motioning me to come to his van. I was like, oh, that's got to be him. He must have gotten my message. I don't know. Maybe he got my message. Who knows? Whatever. So I was like, I started walking towards him, and he's like, oh yeah, you know, you're supposed to be in my van, even though he really didn't speak English, but it was understood that I was supposed to be in his van. So I got in his van. Let me tell you what I looked like on that particular day. I'm actually going to insert a video clip of me off at school in the US, and I had my hair wrapped up in this video, and I was like dancing to Beyonce, blah blah blah. But this particular scarf that I had on in that college video that I'm about to insert in this particular video was the same scarf that I was wearing on my head when I got into the van in Bangkok, Thailand. So see this little small clip. So, you saw the clip. That's basically what I was looking like that morning, minus the makeup itself. And so I get in, this is so embarrassing. So I get into the van and I noticed that there were a bunch of girls already on the van. There were no guys except the driver himself. And, and they were Indian, but specifically South Indian. They had skin complexions that were basically my skin complexion. Some were a little deeper toned than me, but they were all Indian and I was not. And then I started talking to them and they were saying like, yeah, you know, our family's originally from the south of India, like all of our families are, but we were born and raised in Thailand, so we speak the language, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, so who's on the visa run? Me? Like, where are they going? If they, do they need a visa? Like, I was so confused. I was so confused when they told me this information. And yeah. But me being the person I am, I don't just hop off the van because they told me that as we were already into the drive going to Laos. We were supposed to be going to Laos on my visa run. That's where we were supposed to be going. So yes, I got to talking to them. No one saw any red flags except me, but then I was like, maybe I'm just confused and everything's gonna work out. Who knows? Maybe they could be going to Laos as well, but not on a visa run. Like maybe this company is killing two birds with one stone, even though I hate that saying. Maybe this company is trying to do multiple things at one time. So they're handling wherever these girls need to go and they're taking care of where I need to go. I don't know. So yeah, we are driving, and then we end up in a place called Pattaya, Thailand. And we pull up to a hotel. And I was like, yay, this is when we were going to get our breakfast. That was included in the price. By the way, you paid the price after the trip so that you don't get ripped off or something. But yeah, we pull up to this hotel and we get out and we're waiting quite a long time. And I'm thinking like, is the food not ready or whatever? And I'm talking to them, to the girls, and we never get on to the point that I'm the only one on a visa run. Like it just never popped up in conversation. So the guy, the bus driver or the van driver, he comes down and he's like, okay, you know, you ladies can follow me, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, oh, thankfully, like I'm starving. And he takes us to this hotel room where this lady was dressed in traditional Indian bridal wear. Like, I don't know, like saris, choli lengas, like salwar kameez. I don't know what she had on in particular, but she had on traditional wear. And she also had henna, mehndi, on her arms. So I was like, who this? Like, why is she there? And I was just confused. Like, what's going on? What is going on? So then at that point, panic did, like, I started to panic, but no one could tell. When I'm panicking, sometimes no one knows that I'm panicking. And I was like, so why are we here? And she was like, oh, we're here for the photo shoot. And I'm like, you guys are here for the photo shoot? I'm here on a visa run. Like, I'm supposed to be going to Laos. And they were like, well, you're not going to be able to go there in this direction. Maybe Cambodia. And I'm like, so you mean to tell me that I ended up on the wrong van? And they were like, yeah, you did. I was actually really freaking out. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna take a breath. And then I thought about it. Okay, these girls can help me. They speak amazing English. They also speak Thai, so they can communicate for me. Can you please tell this guy that I ended up on the wrong van? And why did he motion me to get on the van in the first place? So they communicate this information that I'm telling them to the driver, and he's like, we were looking for someone who wore hijabi. And isn't that you? And I'm like, absolutely not. This is just a normal scarf. So you picked up the wrong person. You picked up the wrong person. So I I cannot express how irresponsible I felt in that moment. I can't express how irresponsible I felt, but also how annoyed I felt, because I wish there was some confirmation on both ends before I got into the van or before he accepted me into the van. But the rest is history, so can't really change that. And so when he realized that I was not supposed to be on his van and that I was trying to go to Laos for my visa run, he told the girls to let me know, like, there's nothing that he can do about that now. Like, we're like 2.5 hours out of Bangkok, and oh well, like, that's your fault. So he decided to help me out of the kindness of his heart, and he called one of his friends who had a motorcycle. And I'm thinking, I am panicking at this point. Like, I'm just like, what? You want me to get on a motorcycle with a stranger? Another stranger? Like, I'm already getting in vehicles with strangers, and now you want me to continue the cycle. But I was like, you know what? I don't even care anymore, because I don't even know how I'm going to get back to Bangkok. So where's the motorcyclist? Like, where is he? Where is he? I will get on the back of that motorcycle. So he contacts his friend, and his friend comes, and I'm just like, oh, thank you so much. Even though I'm still like panicking and just nervous and hungry. But I was like, you know what? My hunger is not the important part. I just have to make sure that these people are not trying to kidnap me, do anything sketchy to me. And so I get on the back of his motorcycle, and he takes me to a bus stop. And he's like telling me, you know, to wait here for the next van. So I'm just like, I don't even care anymore. Where is this van going? But I don't care. Like, I don't care. So that's when the panic really set in, when I was left on my own on the side of the road. Nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. And so I did what I only knew to do. And even though that was kind of stupid, like, that made no sense, what I'm about to say, but I went on Expedia.com and I booked a book now, pay later flight to the US, just in case nothing worked out in my favor. I could at least get back to Bangkok and fly home to the US. But it was a book now, pay later. Tell me why Expedia had already charged my card. That was so depressing. So at that point, I knew I had to tell my mom something. Like, I couldn't just leave her in the dark wondering, like, where the heck is my daughter and what is she doing? I had to let somebody know that things were not okay. I didn't have that kind of money in my bank account at that very moment, at least. I didn't have that kind of money. And so I call my bank. I tell them, yes, it is my fault. I made the purchase, but I didn't realize it was actually a full transaction. Like, I thought that on the website it said book now, pay later. That's it. So I explained it to them and they told me to contact Expedia, blah, blah, blah. Expedia took it off immediately. Card was back to normal after it had been in the negative, like like 800 and something dollars. But everything was back to normal after that. So panic was slowly dying down. I was able to also get on one of those vans that the guy on the motorcycle had mentioned. And so I get on this van and he said, before he dropped me off, he was like, Cambodia. So I'm thinking, oh my gosh. So now I'm going to another border and I'm on my own. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Okay. All right. Cambodia, Cambodia, Cambodia. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. So I get on this van and I'm the only foreigner on this van. But there was one lady who was kind enough to try and speak to me in English. And she told me when we got to the Cambodian border that she would try to help me, you know, cross over. Because the van actually stopped like meters away from the actual border. So she did that. She helped me. We paid the tuk-tuk driver, like the little taxi driver, and then we went our separate ways. I told her thank you and everything. And then that's when the madness happened. That's when the scammers, police officers, everybody started trying to scam people. There was this family who, they were also on a visa run, but they were all together as a family, and they were getting heavily scammed. And then I'm thinking, okay, if they're getting scammed, then Zaneta, what makes you think you're not going to be scammed? You're alone. You have no one here with you at this very moment. So yes, that was so scary. Everybody was in on it. I was just like, so I came up with this quick plan because I barely had any money with me, because I was under the assumption that I was going to be on this particular booking company, like this company that specifically does visa runs. And so I was like, I don't need all my cash with me. I'm good to go. So yeah, I had only a set amount of money. I don't remember why I had USD, but I think it was because it was accepted wherever we were going. And so I just converted over to USD to make the transactions easy and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, so they were trying to scam me as well, but I came up with a plan. They don't see what money I have in my purse or my backpack or whatever. So, and they're not gonna hustle me to the ground. So I'm just gonna be like, you know what? I have what I'm pulling out. This is all I have. This is all I will take for the visa. And after haggling for such a long time, what felt like eternity, the officer finally just took that. It was like maybe 40 something bucks. Like, it was a lot. Or was it 60? Oh my gosh. I don't even remember how much it was, but I do remember it wasn't the same amount as what I was going to have to pay during the visa run. So it was like substantially higher. So yeah, I was still scammed in a way, but he didn't scam me the same way that he scammed the family. Like, he really, like, they each paid like triple or quadruple the amount. And so I was lucky. But then when I tried to get my visa stamp and go back to Bangkok, they were like, no, unfortunately, you can't do that now. You have to wait until tomorrow. I was like, wait until tomorrow? And they're like, yeah, your dates have to be different. And so I had to end up staying near the border. At this point, I'm panicking because I had almost lost money that I didn't even have in my bank account. So I'm thinking, how far is the US Embassy from here? Maybe I can get like an emergency flight loan or something. Like, I was in a panic mode, but I couldn't even find the embassy, and I wasn't even about to waste the little money that I had trying to get a taxi or anything like that. So I just booked a hotel that was near the border and paid like 10 bucks for the night. This is when the story gets absolutely horrific. Hotel had so many roaches, and I am horribly, like, it's an phobia for me. I am afraid of roaches. Back at home, we have flying cockroaches. So I should technically be accustomed to them, but I'm not. 100% I'm not. And that's okay. Like, you don't have to be not afraid of roaches. So that was a horrible night. I already didn't have any money for real. So I had to go to the local stores, and I think I bought like corn on the cob and maybe some water. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what I bought, but it was some small foods. But my night in the hotel was horrific. It was absolutely horrific. Just, there were so many cockroaches, and then they kept coming underneath my door, and I'm thinking, oh, this is gonna be a horrible night. So the next day comes, I am up bright and early, and I'm just like, you know what, I don't even care anymore. I'm gonna take a quick wash off. I don't even care. I just want to get out of here. And then I run back to the border, and I'm just like, you know, he's gonna give me my stamp. Luckily, I ended up getting my stamp to go back to Thailand, but then I ran into another issue. So almost all of the buses had been filled to full capacity, and I just couldn't find a bus that was willing to take me, like one of those long charter buses. I couldn't find one that was willing to take me. But then I ended up finding one that had like one vacant spot, and I was like, how much is it gonna be? And then he was like, almost 40 bucks. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I don't have that on me anymore. Like, I don't have that kind of money. But then I remembered that I had a credit card. Well, yeah, I had a credit card. So technically I could buy this ticket through my credit card. Didn't really have the money on it, but I was like, if the transaction goes through, that's all that matters. And I was saved by the credit card. It was a miraculous feeling, a miraculous feeling. And yeah, I made my way back to Bangkok. The hostel that I was staying in, I was actually supposed to check out the day before. The day that I assumed I would be coming back was the day that I should have checked out. But the lady was generous enough to not charge me for 2 nights. My money was also still in the safe, which was amazing. And I just needed to crash somewhere. Like, I needed to find another hostel and just rest, because it was a crazy, crazy, crazy time. Like, I can't even, this video doesn't even do it justice to speak about how insane this visa run was, especially the roaches. The roaches were the worst. But I'm gonna end that story here, and I might talk to you about mainland China and how I ended up in Thailand in the first place, because there's some drama around that as well. I had a great time at my job, my former place of employment, but something was just pulling me away from that particular job, and I'm glad that it pulled me away, because I saved myself from a lot of misery. Okay, see, I wish there was someone to let me know that my hair was looking horrible throughout this entire video. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this video, everyone. If you aren't subscribed and not, like, if just like and subscribe to my channel. I don't even know what I was about to say, but like and subscribe to my channel. And as you can see, I forgot to insert this little part. Where is it? Where are you? About my little visa stamp in Cambodia. But please like and subscribe to my channel, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye.